Hi, I'm Patrick Murphy-Racy. I'm one of the Sony artisans, and today this video is all about audio solutions when using Sony mirrorless cameras. There are lots and lots of answers to difficult questions, especially if you're coming out of Canon shooting video. Sony has all kinds of proprietary solutions for audio capture, and then it mixes very well with other professional audio solutions as well. So today what we're going to do is we're going to just take a look at a myriad of different opportunities for audio using the Sony a7R. But what's very important to understand is that the smart shoe that's on the top of the Sony mirrorless cameras and also on the top of the A99 and the A77 Mark II, these are all able to receive these various accessories that we're going to go through today. In point of fact, I'm using a Sony microphone. It's very similar to what most people use, a Sennheiser or a Shure, but this is a Sony mic. The transmitter is normal in every respect, but the receiver has it's basically receiving on two different frequencies, so it's more of a professional level mic, but it plugs directly into the camera's hot shoe, and there are no wires. There's no cords. And the most cool thing about it is if you take the batteries, if you take the AA's out of the unit, it powers directly off the battery in the A7R Mark II or the A7S, or even the RX10 II. So this is a super cool way to get like really quick audio solutions that are excellent quality. And so what we're going to do is we're going to test out some various things and see where we get the very best performance out of the Sony mirrorless system. All right, so this is the giant Squid audio mic that is a lavalier mic. You can purchase it directly from Amazon. The links will be below on my blog. So if you look below this window on YouTube, you're going to find a link to my blog that will take you right to a page where you can find all these things that we're reviewing today. So this is the giant Squid audio mic, and it is plugged into a Radio Shack extension cord. It's just a male mini phone to female mini phone stereo. I think it's a 25-footer, and it's a very simple, this is like the least expensive possible way to get good audio capture off of a Sony mirrorless camera. So our second test is with the Shure SM93. This is a phantom power, it requires phantom power, and it's a lavalier mic that goes into this like big thing. There's no battery in here because this is just the guts of the electronics. And then I'm into an XLR cord, and then I'm connected to the XLR K2M unit on the top of the camera. So this is a little more expensive. This mic is only 160 bucks, brand new, but the audio unit's $600. So you're talking about $760 for this combo. But this is a great combo because this is now pro audio. And the way this is designed is you just clip this on to the back, you run the cord through the clothing or whatever, and then you run your XLR cord back to the camera. All right, so now we're testing the Bluetooth system. Sony, I'm gonna make some noise here. And this is one of the dangers of the system. You gotta be really careful about handling it because it's pretty gnarly when you start moving around. Once it's on the clothing, it's not too bad. There's a tendency that people wanna have to put this up here like this, and this is bad because every time somebody moves the neck, you can get, especially if there's whiskers, you can run into trouble. But I like to use this down here or so, and it seems to work pretty well. This option is very, very inexpensive, and it is a good option for outdoor with some nat sound where you've got ambient noise of some kind, because inside this system there's a little bit of hiss. So first of all, we just put this Rode shotgun mic on, and we had to really, really raise the internal recording volume. So that's not a great thing. You don't want to ever like stress the system. You always want to have a lot of room to turn down and turn up. So already you should be hearing a very different sound because I'm 10 feet away from the camera and 10 feet away from the microphone. And you know, the first rule of using a microphone is get as close as possible. So at a distance like this, it's just not an ideal situation to use a shotgun. Plus you have a battery to keep up with. There's a AA battery in that thing. I can't remember what they cost, but I'll have it listed, and we're gonna try now the new Rode mic, which is supposed to be much improved. So we're gonna try that next. This is the new Rode Video Pro stereo mic that's kind of getting popular, obviously because it's stereo. That brings in a whole thing. So if you're doing NASCAR, you know, it's kind of cool. Okay, we just wanted it to be fair because this microphone is not really designed to be, it's not a shotgun mic. And so if we halve the distance, I'm now about 4 feet from the microphone. This should be much improved. But this will give you an idea about the internal hiss. So now what we've done is we are using the Sennheiser UWPD mic, but we're using the receiver plugged directly into the camera off the hot shoe. And then I've got the transmitter here. So you would just run this like this. And so this is a good option if you're running and gunning. It doesn't give you the control because now you've got, in order to control the volume of your capture, you've got to go into the firmware of the camera, the software, and change it. So this is not as convenient as using the XLR K2M with this system, which we're going to do next. This, by the way, is the MKE2 Gold mic. This is an extra mic. It's supposed to be a super special, fancy, Secret Squirrel mic. So we're going to test that, and we're going to test its counterpart as well. Okay, now this is the standard kit mic that comes with the Sennheiser. So if you just buy the Sennheiser as a kit, you're going to get this mic. So we just wanted to have a comparison. So now we're still using the same Sennheiser wireless lav system, but we've now added the XLR K2M by Sony. And so now we're back to manual pot control, which is always better when you're in the field or in the studio. And we're testing the MKE2 Gold microphone, which is supposedly better. We've noticed that we have to really increase the sound level to get this one back into that range where it sounds, powerful like the other one. So this one does require a little bit more go juice on the pots. All right, so this is kind of the first time I've ever used this system. This is the UWP-D audio set for made by Sony. So this is like a competitor to the Sennheiser system. But there's one thing in particular that makes it really different, and that is that there's an additional accessory you can buy that plugs into the top of the camera directly, so you are truly cordless. And this is very, very interesting to me because if you're running and gunning, you'd really have to do, it'd be a great advantage. The one drawback that we figured out, though, is that once you go into this system and you plug directly onto the hot shoe, as we're doing now, the only way you can control the audio level of your recording level is on the receiver unit itself. One great advantage of this system is that you can be only down to 2 AA's for your transmitter, this part, because when you have the Sony system going directly plugged on the hot shoe through the smart shoe system, you can take the batteries completely out of the receiver unit on the camera and it will power off the camera battery, which is pretty sweet. Now you can also do it where you can power off the batteries in the receiver, but if they die, it will not automatically change to the camera battery, so you have to physically remove them. But this is a great option, and it's very competitively priced with the Sennheiser system, except you can plug directly onto the smart shoe, which I really like. Now we're using a Sennheiser, a proper Sennheiser Shotgun. It's the ME66, which is a very commonly used shotgun mic. It's a very, very tight pattern, and I've got it above me, and it's pointed directly at my mouth. And you'll see if I move even a little bit off one way or the other, I lose the pattern. So it's a very, very tight, so this is kind of a thing that's great for interviews if someone's seated and they're not moving around a lot. And now what we've done is we've combined 2 different kinds of microphones into one interview audio kit, which is exactly how I roll when I do my interviews. So right now we're hardwired on 2 mics. One is the Shure SM93, which is the lav here, and the other one is the Sennheiser ME66 up above. In this last test, we're doing the same Shure lavalier, it's the SM93, but now what we're doing is we're actually using the Sony Kit microphone that comes with the XLR K2M, which I have found to be a very capable mic. And so we've changed out a very expensive, like $650 Sennheiser mic for the one that comes with that unit for $600. And for the money, it sounds pretty dang good. Super Sony Alpha audio test near Petros, Tennessee. So this is a Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. The Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. This is the Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. This is the Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. So this is the Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. So this is the Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. Super Sony audio test near Petros, Tennessee. I know it's been kind of a long video and we've gone through a lot of stuff and we're speaking a whole other language that you may not be comfortable with, but if you're interested in really trying to get to the bottom of the least expensive possible way to get good audio in interviews, or the absolute best audio possible, no matter what the cost, hopefully this video will help you.